Good morning, everybody. It's Carrie from KDS Insurance Services. I hope you're doing okay today. Wanted to pop in today. My video from Monday has been delayed. As you know, we have been moving the agency over the last few days, and so this particular video is a couple of days late, so I apologize for that. Want to make sure that you guys take the time to subscribe, like, and make comments on these videos. These videos are designed for you. They're designed for your educational purposes to help you understand what insurance is all about. It's a free service that I'm doing to try to help educate you as the consumer as to what insurance is, the ins and outs of it, do's and don'ts, and to just try to help you make better decisions about what you need to protect yourself and your assets that you work so hard for. So today we're going to be talking about the last couple of things on an auto policy. But first I want to talk a little bit about surcharges. The biggest surcharge on the auto insurance side of the industry are surcharges that you receive when you have an at-fault accident. Carriers like to see 5 years accident-free. And when you do have a 5-year accident-free record, then a lot of the carriers give you a pretty substantial discount for that. They want to make sure that you're a clean driver, that you've got a good driving record. Obviously, that is going to affect your rates. And so they do offer, many of the carriers offer a 5-year accident-free discount, which is pretty huge. So that's a really important thing to ask when you're checking for auto rates. Now, in that 5-year period, your accidents stay on your record for 5 years as well. So if you have an accident and it's your fault, or if you have any accident, regardless of whether or not it's your fault, those accidents are going to stay on your driving record, your MVR. That's what it's called, it's an MVR. And those accidents are going to stay there for 5 years. Now, in that 5-year period, insurance companies are allowed to surcharge you for 3 of those 5 years. So if you have an at-fault accident, then you are looking at surcharges from pretty much all insurance companies for a 3-year period of time. Then there's going to be another 2 years of that 5 years where the accident is going to remain on your record, and it's going to prevent you from getting that 5-year accident-free discount. So it's a pretty substantial hit that you're going to take when you have an at-fault accident. So when you're looking at your renewals, one of the things you need to be asking about is those surcharges. For lots of reasons, but the most important reason obviously is your pocketbook, but also to make sure that if there's any accidents on your record that don't belong to you, that you get them off your record, because you don't want an accident on your record that's going to surcharge you for 3 years and stay on your record for 5 years to prevent you from getting that discount. So it's really important to make that phone call, ask your agent to check your loss history and see exactly what is on your record, because it does make a substantial difference when it comes time to looking at rates. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about towing, roadside assistance, and rental car reimbursement. Everybody seems to think that you can use your rental car coverage on your auto insurance anytime you want to use it. And that is true in one sense, that if you have auto insurance, it does transfer to a rental car. So you can decline the rental car company's damage waiver. But when you do that, you are making your insurance primary. So if you're in an accident and you damage their rental car and you take that rental car back and you haven't purchased their collision damage waiver, they're going to collect your deductible. So if you have $1,000 deductible on your personal auto insurance that covers that rental car, then that rental car company is going to collect that deductible the moment you return that vehicle. I personally always buy the collision damage waiver because I want to protect my insurance. If I'm in a rental car and I happen to have an accident, I don't want my policy to end up paying out, because then that's going to go against me and it's going to go against my rates when I go to renew my policy. So I just bite the bullet and I buy the collision damage waiver to protect my policy. and have the rental car company policy pay for the damages that I do as a result of an accident when it's my fault. So, just food for thought there. So your personal auto does transfer to a rental car. Um, you need to check your policy. You need to verify that with your agent. But normally speaking, you are protected when you go rent a car because your personal auto transfers to that rental car. But a lot of people think that you can just go use your rental car coverage from your auto policy to pay for a rental. Let's say you needed to go rent a car for a week because you had service work that needed to be done. It's not in an accident, it's just you need a car. Your rental car coverage is not going to pay for that. Your rental car coverage is going to pay for rental car when you are in an accident and you have no vehicle and you need to rent a car. That's a really important distinction. A lot of people call me and they go, well, why isn't it going to be paid for? I buy a rental car. Well, yes, you do, but it's used when you're in an accident and when you need a vehicle because of that accident, not just because you're going to go rent a truck for the weekend and you want the coverage to pay for those fees. It's not going to do that. It is going to cover you. It's going to transfer to that vehicle, but it's not going to pay for it. So that's a really important distinction that a lot of people get confused on with rental car coverage. I always tell my clients too, if you're a household that has multiple vehicles and you have an extra vehicle in case one breaks down and you need to get to work, then you're paying for coverage, in my opinion, that you're just paying for something that you really don't need. Because if you have 3 vehicles and 2 drivers, then you always have an extra vehicle. So why go rent a car? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're spending, $40 to $70 to $80 to $100 every 6 months for rental car coverage when you've got an extra vehicle in your household. So just again, some food for thought there on rental car coverage. So towing is just that. So if you break down and you need to be towed from wherever you break down to a repair facility, you need to have towing on your car. Another company that offers this is AAA. AAA is generally more coverage, so consequently it's more money. Towing is not generally a very expensive coverage that you can add to your policy. It does, however, have, depending on the carrier, limits. Some of them have tiered limits, so some of them have 40, 50, 60, 120. It just really depends on your carrier, and again, it's another question you need to be asking your agent. Do I have towing? If I do have towing, what is the limit or the mileage max that towing coverage is going to afford to me if I need to have my vehicle towed? So again, this is a policy coverage that you buy for yourself to protect yourself in the event that you need to have your vehicle towed somewhere. So check into that coverage as well. Then we have roadside assistance. Roadside assistance means just that. If you lock your keys in the car, if you need gasoline, any type of assistance that you need when you break down on the side of the road, that is what roadside assistance does for you. They bring gas to you, they jump your car, they change your tire, they unlock your car if you lock your keys in the car, those types of things. So it's roadside assistance, and you do need to check your policy to understand what the actual coverage limits are and what coverages, what functions your roadside assistance offers you on your particular policy. So again, that's another question for your agent. It's not generally very expensive. AAA does, I believe, cover roadside and towing, so you can kind of get a comparison there as to whether or not you want to have one or the other. I certainly wouldn't be paying for both, because then you're just spending money for dual coverage that you don't need. So and then discounts. There's a lot of discounts that are available. I've talked about that big 5-year discount, but then there's good student discount, there's driver's education discount, there's some security discounts that carriers offer to you, for example, the LoJack system, and there's just a whole bunch of different discounts. So a homeowner's discount, multi-car discount, whether you're married or not, if you're a full-time student. I mean, there's just a wide range of discounts that are available in the auto industry. So again, that's another question you need to ask your agent about. What do you qualify for? Paperless discount, full paid discount. There's fees too that are charged by a lot of these carriers. Credit card processing, for example. So if you do paperless, then you're going to get a pretty substantial discount. There's also another new program that's out that I'm sure a lot of you've seen, and it's a driver's safety program where you either put a device in your car or you use an iPhone, for example, to track your driving, and it's an app that you put on your phone, and it tracks your driving. And what they're looking for is really fast starts and really hard stops, because that generally means that you're speeding. But those discounts can also be pretty substantial. So if you're one of those conservative drivers that doesn't do a lot of that, then you might want to consider that. Another discount is to also how you're rated. Do you drive a lot of miles? Do you drive to work? Are you retired? Do you only drive for pleasure? There's just a whole gamut of different discounts and surcharges that it's important for you to discuss with your agent when you are shopping your rates. It's important to shop your rates. I cannot stress that enough. Don't just assume that if you're with State Farm that they're the best and the cheapest. Doesn't necessarily mean so. Even if you've been with a carrier for a really long time, I was for 20 some years, and then I realized when I went into my business as an agent that I was actually spending almost $1,500 a year more than I actually needed to be, because I wasn't shopping my rate, and I was just assuming that I was getting the best rate, and I wasn't, and it was a really big shock. So again, I thank you for stopping by today. Please take the time to subscribe and like this video and leave me any comments. I'm available to answer your questions at any time. I would love to hear from you. I would be happy to talk about any type of coverage question that you have, because the way we learn is to share the ideas and the questions that we have. So I would really love to hear from you. You can call me at any time, 832-391-8271. That's the agency phone number, or 817-374-4477. That is my North Texas exchange. You can stop by the website, which is www.kds-insurance-services.com. Anytime, any questions, I would really love to hear from you. Just remember, again, these are educational videos only. I'm not endorsing any carrier. I'm not endorsing any carrier. I'm not confirming your coverages. I'm just providing you the information that you should have to make informed decisions about your insurance, because it is a very important part of your financial planning in your household, because it is designed to protect your assets. So that's really important. So I hope you have a great rest of the week. I hope you're staying cool. It is really hot this year. Texas is just sweltering. So make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Make sure you're staying safe. And I will see you on Friday. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and God bless.